a sort of harsh criticism that we have experienced, um, which made us sort of improve ourselves to not for anyone's satisfaction, but for sort of to understanding that we know where we are. That is not working anymore. I mean,
I
so
started getting hate also on you.
three banana
Heavy metal and architecture.
part. So I started showing them a lot of these old movies.
But is that scary to not have?
I got many rejections. Let me put it that way. There was so many rejections. No, I'm not saying that you have that sort of.
It's kind of like the blind leading the blind at this point.
Definitely, I agree. I agree.
Before we get into your story,
Hmm.
we need your banana verdict.
Okay.
Visa systems
Yeah.
control more careers than talent. What do you think?
Yes, it does control it a bit. I mean, there are visa systems in place which look at predominantly talent, and uh, some of them who don't really uh, want a talented person coming into the country because they're scared that it sort of takes away the job from the
Global.
local people. But
Yeah.
that's so stupid, I feel. I mean, if a country can't produce the talent that you are looking at, what is harm in getting someone who has it, right? And okay, I'm not saying that everyone is dumb or everybody is not going to be as um, talented as an immigrant. There are very talented or extraordinarily talented localites in a country, but
I think the
uh, yeah, I think
drive
it's a
that it
sort of
has. Yeah.
it's a sort of culture that they're living in a sense that they look
Hmm.
at their lifestyles as more about living than looking at
Just what
just work. It is a system. I think visa systems should sort of change their uh, the criterias, I would say.
they do things.
Yeah, it is the harsh reality, and I think it reflects bad on the country that you're trying to educate people with your education system, which is supposed to be so good, but after that you're saying that you're not going to give them a opportunity to sort of exhibit their education or talents in the system which you have developed or you have built, and you expect them to go back or to sort of look for other opportunities outside the environment that you have called them into. It's kind of yeah,
If you think about it, because they want your money for your degrees,
yeah,
and then they don't want to give you jobs.
yeah,
Like they are open to welcoming you until you spend that, like what,
yeah,
60, 70 lakhs a year, um, in Indian rupees, of course,
yes, yeah,
to get that particular degree, but there are no opportunities post that. So it feels like a scam.
yeah. And that's the major sort of the issue that or the fear that I mean I talk to my students who have just finished their thesis and then finished graduation and looking for sort of higher education, and they're scared to sort of go outside because all of this sort of news that's happening around, they're like, what's the point of me spending lakhs and lakhs on education which I can, and I'm not saying they get it better in India, but they say that I can be sort of satisfied with the
Right. Yeah.
education, higher education in India, and I can have a peace of mind. Like I don't need to go out of a country, study hard, spend a lot, and sort of be in a situation where I don't know what's going to happen to my future. It is tricky. It is a dice that you have to throw and see where it lands type of thing, and it is You're right. The education system outside, but what we spend as on our masters or our higher education outside, it's quite a lot. As I said, when I did my masters in Australia, I mean, I remember paying, it was, I think, around 2,500 Australian dollars for a subject in a semester. So you have four subjects.
Pay per subject.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So, I
not
mean,
like
no,
course fee.
I think it was, I think
Wow.
2000 or 2,500, I'm not really exactly sure, but we had around, you know, 16 credits a trimester, and it was around 16,000 Australian dollars per year there. And it was four times the cost what the local Australian person paid for the same education. It's the same setting, the same classroom, the same tutors, the same building, everything. But they used to pay, I think, $600 per unit or per credit, and we used to pay like four times that price. I was lucky enough, I had a good family that helped the education to happen.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah,
always in the back of my mind that I'm paying so much. I have to do something worthwhile after that to I
yeah.
don't say compensate in financially, but yes, that
But
was a
it kind of makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, and that was, I think, the fear that I had. Like, what if I don't what if I don't get a job that can, help in reducing the
paying it back.
paying back what I've used. I remember speaking about this to my dad, saying that, you're spending so much on my higher education. What if I don't?
Right.
What if I don't
Yeah,
use it to the fullest extent and get you back to where you were? And he said one thing: see, you may not pay back to me right now. Maybe down the line, 20 years down the line, maybe 15 years down the line, maybe that education or what you have learned there, you could help to improve yourself down the line. So look at it as a investment in yourself rather than you're trying to repay me for what I have invested in your education.
actually, this brings us to a good point for me to ask you one of the questions our viewers has written in. Ujjwal has written in asking if masters is necessary for someone who wants to practice in the future. I think he meant masters in general. Do
Okay.
you think it's something that is a necessity at all?
Okay, that's actually a really good point. See, personally, from a personal point of view, I felt like uh, the bachelor degree knowledge which we gained when we were studying is quite good. I mean, it was to a point where I could, use that knowledge and get into practice uh, as soon as possible. But for
Hmm.
me personally, I felt like I am not really there yet.
Did you work in India before you went to Australia for your masters?
No, I mean my only work was internship, and after that was graduations type of thing. But I did
Okay,
do a bit of volunteering work in Nepal, where I
right.
was in Nepal for I think 2 months or 2.5 months. I'm not sure. Where it was fun that I could see a building. I mean, I did build a structure with my bare hands, along with multiple other people from different sorts of fields. So this was a
Mm.
NGO called All Hands Foundation, where it was a US based NGO which helped in rebuilding disaster prone areas around the world. That I think that volunteering period was my very a bridge between a professional life and an educational life, where that was like a
Yeah,
reality check, like saying that, oh, it's not just what you read in textbook, it has to have an implementation. And how do I know that it can be implemented? By getting my hands dirty. That we learn
yeah, and
about the
also a lot of the times we are sitting in the comfort of our studios
exact
designing something, and
yeah,
like we think this is what I want, it looks aesthetic. um, but you don't know how that's built on site.
yeah,
You don't know how, like, maybe something that could have been done by two people would need like eight people to do the same thing because
exactly.
you were stupid. or something, you
Uh,
know. I
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a good experience to actually do hands-on stuff, so you kind
super.
of know and you're also conscious of it when you're designing.
Correct. I would say it's good that if you know that where you stand after your bachelor's, you're confident enough that you can practice or get into practice, go ahead with it. But personally, I was.
Okay, so you did your master's in which subject? Like it was a master's in architecture or
Yeah.
it was
So
something else?
it was a course that I really liked because as when I was researching about universities and places, there was one intention for me was I don't want to do anything specific subject. I don't want to do a landscape masters. I don't want to do urban design masters. I don't want to do anything specific. But it was like I felt like I need to sort of grow as an individual holistically in an architectural field. So my sort of focus on looking at curriculum across the universities was to see if I can I can get all of or can enhance my basics to be advanced.
So after you did your master's, did you then know if you wanted something specific out of it, or were you still wanting to keep your options open in terms of what you pick? Because I kind of remember you wanting to do something with structures at one point.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it was yeah. I mean, again, that was good. That's a good point, and remember that. Yeah, so even this course which I looked at in masters, like it had a very good, strong sort of basis, or the professor sort of spoke to you on the basis of structural integrity of his building. So with whatever I mean, you can go has haywire in your or has imaginative in your design, but ultimately you have to look at if that particular building will stand or not. I spoke to many of my many students and ex students who were from the university. Say, I asking like, how does that whole teaching process happen? Do they only concentrate on design, or do they actually look at even how do you make this practical and rational in a sense? So
Yeah.
during that time, I found out that the structural aspect of anything is also talked about, and that was
Mm-hmm.
really a drawing factor for me then.
I have a question from Saurabha who
Okay,
has asked, how different is teaching methodology in Australia? Any takeaways?
it's not different as a good way or a bad way, but their approach to education is I think from a very bachelor stage is to be more explorative in a bachelor stage, and then they sort of jump into technicalities in masters. So from the brief given to the expected outcome, they assume that you should know certain knowledge, pre-existing knowledge, and also the approach to which you get into that particular finish line is up to you. They are there to guide you in however you wish you want to take, but they will never say this is what is the exact way. And that was kind of a shock for me. And it took me like a couple of months to figure out the system and sort of read and get myself acquainted to the cultural context of Australia. They give you the freedom to choose your methodology, I would say. But at the same time, there is a structure that they expect you to know before
Or,
you get it.
yeah. You did say that you worked in Australia post your masters for a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And um, how was that experience? Did you get a job easily, or was it difficult to sort of get a job in that market, and especially because you were in like Melbourne?
I got many rejections. Let me put it that way. There was so many rejections, but at the same time, I knew that I have to keep sort of applying and sort of networking, and ultimately, it was my networking process or my networking skills that got me to a interview. Let's put it that way. I got into an interview in person, and then it became more about how do I transfer my knowledge, what I've gained, to a functional space? Because the work culture is completely different. The knowledge is one thing, but if you don't know how to use the knowledge to communicate to people, you will not, I mean, you won't be a good match. So they did test me a lot on my conveying or communicative skills, which um, which is very important, I felt, because as
So
in
there seems to be more street smart than you are book smart.
uh, I mean, yeah, I say yes. Personally, I say
Okay.
yes. You have to be street smart. You have to know how to talk to people. You have to know how to network, right? And after you do all that, then you also need to know your knowledge, right?
Did you always want to come back to India, or like you came back because of visa issues?
As a personal choice, I always felt like Bangalore is my home, and I would never want to live anywhere else apart from there, apart from here. So it was a conscious decision to come back, and at the same time, I wanted to, come back and build my house and my own
Right,
family
right.
house. So it was like, yeah, it was there. It was that it's the right time, right decision. I said I don't want to extend my visa. I don't want to renew my visa. I'm done.
Hmm.
And yeah, let's get to the next chapter of my life. I was back to India. But yeah, I mean, I do miss the place and do love the country in a sense. It was a beautiful place for me to sort of travel, explore, work. Yeah, it's a good place to sort of, um, get
Hmm.
yourself in the early stages of life, I would say, where you don't have any restrictions or limitations holding you back there. I mean, I know many people
Hmm.
have stayed back there because of certain reasons, like let's say financial or love or marriage or whatever it is. They're chosen to stay back, and I didn't have any of those things tying me down there, right? So
Okay.
I had done my education, I had done my working, I had sort of earned enough to sort of repay whatever I've used from
Right.
loans and student loan, education loans, and I did travel a lot. It explored quite a bit of the country and also other places as well. So I said, okay, time's enough. Yeah. I'm, it's not like I'm not liking the place anymore. I still love the place when I left it, but I said no. I think that's enough. I call it a day and sort of uh, decided one day overnight. Actually, I remember I woke up in the morning and I said, I'm done. It's not because I didn't like the routine or the work or something. I just felt like I think probably I didn't. It was like I didn't speak to my parents for almost a week or something, and I'm like, oh, well, let me. I thought I woke up in the morning and said, let me go meet a friend or something. And I was like, oh, where are my friends? Back in India. So,
Hmm.
it was kind
So
of an on
how
spot decision to say that I'm done. I've done justice to what I've done here. I came here for, and I think it's time for me to go back, guys.
So when I had to come back to Mysore during COVID, um, I had to start over again.
Yeah.
I had to start over with getting my contacts, starting with projects, periods of time when I didn't have any work. I didn't know what would come of it. And did was that a similar experience for you as well? How did you feel coming back? Uh, was it did it feel like a step back?
Uh, yeah, I mean, it did in some aspects. Like, I was doing good at a job in Australia, and to come back to square one, as you said, with no contacts here, no idea of where I'm going to, if my professional side would sort of uh, be be there or not. So, but one thing I had in my mind was I said I don't want to work in any office in India, and
Oh,
I want to start off my own. That is one thing, and secondly, that I did want to get into teaching. So
okay.
I I pursued that sort of a thing after taking a break, quite a 1 year break after coming back. I said, and and not 1 year,
Right.
almost 8 months of break. I said, I don't, because I was building my house as well that time. So I came back and we
Yeah.
sort of demolished the old house and we rebuilt the new one. So the system over here in India where you are a freelancer, how do you start off? Who do you start off with? Who are the contractors we can trust? Where do you start
Yeah.
from? So that was a kind of initial few months of challenge to get to know who it was. So that's why reached out to many of you guys and many of my classmates and juniors who are already sort of in the field here, and that was a very helpful part of part of my transition. We could say from. Um,
Okay. Okay.
but I am little confident that I can continue this balance between education and practice as well.
Is there something about architecture education that you think doesn't work anymore?
I think the sort of harsh criticism that we have experienced, um, which made us sort of improve ourselves to not for anyone's satisfaction, but for sort of to understanding that we know where we are. That is not working anymore. I mean, that sort of the
That
system,
doesn't work with the
it doesn't
current
work.
generation.
I mean, the people now they don't really want to hear it first of all, and if they ever heard it, they say it's you're not helping me improve. You're making me sort of feel bad
Worse.
even more. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but what else can I say, or how else can I say this to you? Right. So that has always been my struggle right now, like to find the right you will say terminologies, or the right, yeah, anything that to communicate this.
Okay. So before we wrap up the session,
Yeah.
um, we have obviously another banana segment,
Okay.
and here we have something called a banana scale. So
Banana
you need
scale.
to rate
Okay.
scale. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you need to rate something with between 1 and 5. So one banana is terrible or poor or
Okay.
tragic, and 5 means it's great, it's elite, or something of
Yeah.
that sort. So architecture education in India,
Three banana.
working in architecture as a career,
Wait, now office or freelance?
whatever.
Anything? Uh,
Yeah,
4.5 bananas.
not bad. I wouldn't have expected that. Jury systems in architecture school.
5 banana.
Okay, okay. Because there's like a lot of talk about how juries should be
Yeah.
done away with. Yeah,
Then
but
agree with. I don't agree with. I don't agree with. It has scope of improvement, but it is a good system.
okay, okay. Studying architecture abroad,
5 bananas.
moving back to India.
5 bananas. Of course.
I think this episode would be helpful to people who are considering masters,
Yeah.
especially like in
I mean,
Australia
you can always
and.
I can always reach out. I mean, they can always reach out to me if you have any sort of you know.
Oh, sounds great. I think you will be tagged on the
Yes.
episodes, both
Yeah.
on Instagram and on YouTube. So
Yeah.
we'll pin your LinkedIn if you have LinkedIn, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah. I
think
do.
people can reach out to you if they
Yes.
have
Yeah.
any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you for the sort of very very good opportunity for me to just speak my mind. Basically, let's put it that. I, s- it's comforting that you can speak about these things without having anyone judge you. So it's good.
Yeah, yeah. We will be judged, but
Mm. That's okay. That's okay. I'm judged by my
I
students every day.
I
So
started getting hate also on YouTube.
ooh,
Yeah, and I'm like,
wait,
okay,
wait, how does it go?
Huh?
How does that work?
They will just randomly say stuff like, "Oh, this is so boring."
No, maybe so maybe it should be controversial, like one of those. I don't know name names, but one of those comedy fellows, and say some bullshit shit,
Yeah.
and we go viral.